Once upon a time, in a small village near the forest, there lived a kind and cheerful girl named Little Red Riding Hood. She always wore a bright red cloak, which her grandmother had made for her. One day, her mother said, "Your grandmother is feeling sick. Take this basket of food and go visit her, but remember, stay on the path and do not talk to strangers." "I promise, Mother," Little Red Riding Hood said happily, taking the basket filled with bread, fruits, and a jar of honey. She skipped along the forest path, humming a tune. The Big Bad Wolf. As she walked deeper into the woods, a big bad wolf appeared from behind a tree. "Good morning, little girl," the wolf said with a sly smile. "Good morning, Mr. Wolf," she replied politely. "Where are you going?" the wolf asked. "I'm visiting my grandmother. She is sick, and I'm bringing her some food," she said. The wolf's eyes gleamed with a wicked idea. "Oh, how kind of you! And where does your grandmother live?" "Just ahead, in the little cottage with the blue door," she said, pointing down the path. "What a lovely day for a walk," the wolf said. "Why don't you pick some flowers for your grandmother?" Little Red Riding Hood thought it was a great idea. She stepped off the path to gather flowers, and while she was distracted, the wolf ran quickly to grandmother's house. The wolf tricks, grandmother. The wolf reached the cottage and knocked on the door. "Who is it?" grandmother asked. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood," the wolf said in a sweet voice. Grandmother opened the door, and the wolf jumped in. She screamed, but the clever old lady quickly hid inside the closet. The wolf put on grandmother's nightcap and glasses and tucked himself into bed, pretending to be her. Little Red Riding Hood arrives. Soon, Little Red Riding Hood arrived at the cottage, carrying her basket and the flowers she had picked. She knocked on the door. "Come in, dear," the wolf said in a shaky voice, trying to sound like grandmother. She stepped inside and saw grandmother in bed, but something felt strange. "Grandmother, what big ears you have," she said. "The better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf replied. "Grandmother, what big eyes you have. The better to see you with, my dear. Grandmother, what big teeth you have. The better to eat you with," the wolf roared, jumping out of bed. Little Red Riding Hood screamed, but just then a brave woodcutter was passing by and heard the noise. He rushed inside and scared the wolf away. Grandmother came out of her hiding place, and Little Red Riding Hood hugged her tightly. "I'm so sorry, grandmother. I should have listened to my mother. I'm just glad you're safe," grandmother said kindly. From that day on, Little Red Riding Hood always followed her mother's advice and never talked to strangers again. Moral of the story: always listen to your parents. Never talk to strangers. Be careful and stay on the right path.